Bernie Sanders' policy advisor is a guy by the name of Warren Gunnels. And he does a great job, and his Twitter account is fire. I suggest you check it out whenever you get the chance. But Warren really managed to sum up, without even trying here, he managed to sum up everything that's wrong with the economy. So this tweet is based on reporting. It was either from Fortune magazine or Forbes magazine. I get those two confused sometimes. But here's what he says. In the past day, the 8 richest men in the U.S. saw their wealth go up by $6.2 billion. Oh my God. Mark Zuckerberg, $1.08 billion. Larry Page, $956 million. Bill Gates, $931 million. Sergey Brin, $919 million. Jeff Bezos, $907 million. Larry Ellison, $634 million. Warren Buffett, $429 million. Steve Ballmer, $353 million. Combined wealth, $653.8 billion. Jesus. And this all happened while 33 million people lost their jobs. So this is our new reality. One of the most amazing things to watch recently has been now the total disconnection, the total divorce of how your average person is doing, how the economy is doing, and how the stock market is doing. You know, the stock market had its best day or best week on record at the same time that we got the worst jobs report on record. Let me repeat that. The stock market was doing phenomenally well at the exact same time we got the news about jobs in this country being eliminated at a historic pace. We're shedding jobs left and right. I told you guys the old record was losing like 640 or 680,000 jobs in a week during the 2008 subprime mortgage crisis and Great Recession. Now we're talking about every week it's 3 million more. The peak was 6 million. Now we're shedding 3 million per week. And some people are like, oh, that's good because it's not the peak of the 6 million. What? So we have 33 million people who just lost their jobs. 33 million. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, this tweet's a few days old. I think we're over 40 now. And, you know, guys, it probably undercounts it too. They're saying the official unemployment rate is like 14.7% or thereabouts, where the U6 unemployment rate, which is like closer to the actual unemployment rate, is like about 23%, 22 point something percent. Okay, this is, guys, we're getting into Great Depression territory. Great Depression was like 24% or 24.9%, something along those lines. This is where we're at. And again, at the same time that this is happening, that your average person is being absolutely obliterated, the stock market is soaring, and billionaires are making much more money. Much more money. They never lose. You always lose. So, you know, listen, one of the reasons why this is happening, it's not just normal market forces, but it's the bailout packages. And what the Fed is doing too, the Fed basically let the stock market know, let, you know, the fat cats and the big wigs and the people on Wall Street know, listen, we'll spend wherever the hell we got to spend to make sure that this doesn't go down. So we fully implemented corporate socialism. Remember, we covered the story a while ago. They were pumping $1 trillion a day in liquidity, the Fed was, into the markets. What? So, in other words, we've fully implemented corporate socialism. Socialism for the corporation, socialism for the rich. They can't lose no matter what. And for you, rugged individualism and capitalism. You get crumbs. You got the $1,200 one-time check. But that's it. Then you're on your own. And so you see, even the bill is supposed to, let's help the small businesses. A lot of the aid did not get to the small businesses. A lot of the aid did not. About 40% of them could go bankrupt in the next 6 months. That's another story we covered on the show. So there's a total decoupling now. And our transition to corporate socialism is complete. Our transition to corporatism is complete. They can't lose. Privatize the profits, socialize the losses. When times are good, they reap the rewards and the workers get screwed. When times are bad, the workers have to bail them out. Taxpayers bailed them out. So you get hosed either way. I mean, what we're seeing here is really incredible. Now, that's not to say there aren't fixes, because there are fixes. Simple policy solutions, man. Very simple policy solutions. So if Bernie's wealth tax was in place, this is what Warren Gunnell says. If Bernie's wealth tax was in place from 1982 to 2018, how much extra would these men have paid? Bezos would have paid $117 billion. Gates, $87.1 billion. Buffett, $80.1 billion. Ellison, $49.9 billion. Ballmer, $34.8 billion. Page, $34.3 billion. Brin, $33.4 billion. Zuckerberg, $32.4 billion. And they'd still be worth $144 billion. You understand that? Even with a wealth tax, these guys are all billionaires. But they would pay a pretty sizable chunk to the federal government, and then imagine what we could have used that money for. Imagine. We don't have Medicare for all. We don't have free college. We don't have an infrastructure deal or a Green New Deal. Think about what that money could be used for. Think about how that money could be used to help regular people. End homelessness, that's another thing that we could probably do. Just with something like a wealth tax. Instead, we don't have that. We've fully bailed out the corporations and have implemented corporate socialism. Workers are struggling. Millions of people are losing their jobs all the time. And Washington... Tee-hee-hee. Did billionaires get billions more dollars as the rest of the economy is imploding? Tee-hee-hee. If this doesn't wake you up to see the need for radical change, I don't know what will. I mean, the reforms that I'm talking about are so mild and so centrist and so moderate. When I talk about a living wage and ending the wars and using that money for an infrastructure deal, when I talk about Medicare for all and free college, hazard pay for frontline workers, universal basic income, this is all like super moderate stuff. And now people are waking up to that fact when you look at the corporate heist that's going on right in front of our eyes. This was a shakedown. This was the rich and the corporations looting the treasury. And we live in a system where the billionaires can make billions more dollars as everybody else is getting left behind. Guys, 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. And that was before the crisis. Imagine what's going on now as billionaires make billions more dollars. Listen, I'll scream it from the rooftops loud and proud. I am in favor of redistribution of wealth, and you should be too. Any reasonable person that looks at this set of facts goes, oh, well, redistribution is obviously necessary. The details matter, and we could debate where that line is and what makes sense and what doesn't, but redistribution is the duh position, and this proves it beyond any reasonable doubt.